Life is quite exciting and surprising. That's the reason behind it being hard at times. So here we will make this much more interesting for you guys. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today's video will shout out to you 15 weird facts that will make you say, huh, interesting. Before moving into the excitement track, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button and press that small bell icon. Number 15. There were 60,000 jellyfish orbiting the Earth in 1991. You've heard of monkeys going to the moon, but what about jellyfish? NASA has been sending thousands of jellyfish into Earth's orbit since the early 1990s, ostensibly to investigate the effects of microgravity on the organism's development and to see how they would adjust when they return to Earth. Around 2,500 jellyfish polyps were sent into space by the Space Shuttle Columbia in 1991, all confined in canisters filled with artificial seawater. The jellies proliferated in space, and by the end of the trip, as many as 60,000 jellyfish were orbiting Earth, according to The Atlantic. Researchers intended to learn more about how jellyfish survived in a microgravity setting in order to better understand how people could react to long-term space travel. Number 14. Flying snakes come in 5 different varieties. So, rather than actual flight, it's more like controlled falling. These snakes are incapable of gaining height. However, because they can glide through the air between trees, someone on the ground might exclaim, "Holy shit, that's a flying snake." These snakes dwell in the woods of South and Southeast Asia, where they jump between trees by wriggling their bodies to stay in the air rather than crawling all the way down and back up. Number 13. When it comes to your face, time moves faster than it does for your feet. Einstein's relativity has a side effect called time dilation. You may have heard it in connection with the twin paradox, a thought experiment in which one twin is transported into space while the other remains on Earth. According to Einstein's hypothesis, the twin aboard the spaceship ages more slowly while traveling at great speeds around the universe, and when she returns, she is younger than her Earthbound sibling. Sending clocks aloft in flights has proven this to be true, and according to a study published in 2010, this may be seen on smaller scales as well, with height disparities of less than a meter. Although the difference is too minor for humans to notice, time moves faster at your face than at your feet because the gravitational pull of the Earth's gravitational field is slightly stronger at your feet than at your head. Number 12. During a severe solar storm in March 1989, the northern lights were visible as far south as Florida and Cuba. One of the most amazing displays of the aurora borealis, sometimes known as the Northern Lights, lit up the sky across much of North America 25 years ago this week. On March 5, 1989, a breathtakingly enormous sunspot slowly emerged into view on the sun's east limb, causing the incredible sight. It was the largest spot ever seen at such a high northern latitude on the sun, covering an area equal to about 3,000 millionths of the solar disk. The following day, this massive sunspot generated a massive solar flare classed as an X-15. It was one of the most powerful flares ever recorded, and it flooded the detectors on the GOES satellite that captured the event. Number 11. In the constellation Aquila, there's a gas cloud with enough alcohol to produce 400 trillion pints of beer. It has a diameter 1,000 times that of our solar system, and it contains enough ethyl alcohol to keep everyone on Earth very, very intoxicated for several billion years. Unfortunately, it's 10,000 light years away, and the alcohol is mixed together with some nasty substances like hydrogen cyanide. Number 10. Bees can detect the electromagnetic field of a bloom and utilize it to locate pollen. Flowers, indeed, are surrounded by electric fields, and bees use those electric fields as clues to figure out where the nectar is by becoming positively charged as they flap their wings. Number 9. Albert Einstein's brain was stolen and chopped up into 240 pieces by a pathologist after his death. When Einstein died in April 1955, the pathologist on call at Princeton Hospital was Thomas Harvey. Einstein desired that all of his ashes be burned and spread, but Harvey had different ideas. Without permission, he grabbed the brain, which was subsequently chopped up into 240 pieces, preserved, and placed in Harvey's basement. Number 8. Most of the main pyramids were built after the last woolly mammoth died. Although the majority of woolly mammoths died out 10,000 years ago, a tiny colony survived until around 1700 BCE on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean. The Giza pyramids, which were built between 2550 and 2490 BCE, had been standing for many hundred years at this time. Number 7. There's an insect with working gears. The interlocking gears were discovered in a plant-hopping insect called an isis in 2013, and the findings were published in the journal Science. They were only found in nymphs, not adults. Gears are found in everything from wristwatches to vehicle engines in the man-made world. Yet it appears that nature invented them first. According to a new study, the plant-hopping insect Isis coleoptratus is the first living thing to have working gears. When the insect jumps, the two interlocking gears on its hind legs help to synchronize the legs. Number 6, you have a one-of-a-kind tongue print. Here, the exciting thing is about our body part. Wow, right? 2 scientists recommended utilizing tongues as a technique of identification in a report released in 2013, looking at both their shape and texture. The tongue is a unique organ in that it can be stuck out of the mouth for inspection, providing proof of life in the process, but it is otherwise well protected in the mouth and impossible to forge, they stated. Number 5. The Milky Way is used by dung beetles to travel. When they can see the night sky, dung beetles can roll their dung balls in a straight path, but not when it's overcast, leading scientists to believe that they use the stars in the Milky Way to navigate. Archaeologists have frequently discovered carved scarab beetle amulets placed over the heart in the wrappings of Egyptian mummies. The amulets, many of which had spells etched on them, were meant to aid the dead in their ultimate judgment by Anubis, the jackal-headed god of death, who would weigh the deceased hearts to determine whether they were worthy of the afterlife. Because the sacred scarab, Scarabaeus sacer, which sculpts dung into balls for meals, gifts for potential mates, or repositories for eggs, rolls the balls across the ground in a manner that reflects the sun's journey across the sky, the ancient Egyptians believed that a dung beetle drove the movement of the sun. Number 4. Hairspray is home to a particular form of bacteria. Microbacterium hadanonis was named after Japanese scientist Kazunori Hatano after it was identified in 2009. According to the findings of a study published in the March issue of the International Journal of Systematic and Evolutionary Microbiology, scientists in Japan have discovered a new species of bacteria called Microbacterium hadanensis that can thrive in hairspray. Number 3. Almost everyone is your direct ancestor if you go back long enough in time. You were born to 2 biological parents, 4 grandparents, and 8 great-grandparents among other relatives. Every generation the number doubles, so after 6 generations you have 26 or 64 ancestors. By the time you get 30 generations down the line, this number has grown to almost 1 billion ancestors. However, the world's population did not reach 1 billion until the 1800s, which is less than 30 generations ago. In essence, if you travel back in time, you quickly reach a point where everyone who was alive at the time is either the ancestor of everyone, assuming they had children, and their descendants had children, and so on, or nobody. Okay, then here comes the money. Who doesn't want to be the wealthiest? Next goes for a tip more than something exciting. Number 2, you're among the top 1% of the world's wealthiest people if you earn more than $32,000 each year. To be a part of the worldwide 1%, you'll need a yearly income of almost $32,000. So if you want to appropriately define millionaires and billionaires, you should definitely use the term 0.01%. We have no idea what to say in response to this. Number 1. Because of the knights, England drives on the left side of the road. Because of Napoleon, the rest of us drive on the right. When people used swords, staying on the left side of the road made the most sense because you could easily defend yourself with your dominant hand. Napoleon's empire changed many of these customs, which mandated that many of the countries he conquered switch to the right side of the road. Here we are winding up today's amazing video. We hope you guys enjoyed this a lot, and we will be back with another exciting one soon. So keep us motivated by hitting that like button and do share our video.